Welcome back to EpicAirsoftHD. This week we have the WE Scarlight. Okay, we're back with one of the highest requested guns that we've ever had on EpicAirsoftHD. This is the WE Scar L, or the MK16 as the military know it as. This is a 5.56 weapon in real steel, and it is one of the nicest Stanag type weapons that you can get on the market, in my opinion. So let's have a look at some of those features and I'll let you know why I think that. We'll start from the rear of the gun here. There's a 6th position, not a folding stock, Jay, it's a sliding stock. It's actually really hard to move on the WE. It's so sturdy, it's unbelievable. A lot of people think, oh, it's plastic, it'll break, but it's not. It's seriously hard stuff this is made of. It's actually fiber reinforced plastic, so it's like the real gun. FN wouldn't make a gun that was designed to break, so the WE aren't going to replicate something really bad. And as we know from previous times, WE makes some really nice guns now, well, compared to their past history. Nice as well, we've got a folding cheek piece here as well. Sits down there for those of you with bigger cheeks, I guess, and this is a nice cheek rest. So you get a good cheek weld on that. Cool little feature with this as well is that it's collapsible and it actually locks onto the side of the gun. Good for transport, not so good for CQB. Don't recommend you start running around like this, especially with a gas gun. You're not going to be too accurate and you'll look like a fool. So lock this back into place and we'll have a look at the Riz on top here. Full length top Riz reel, 20mm, can accommodate red dots, scopes, anything you want to put on there. Excellent. The machine work on this is absolutely gorgeous. WE's factory is obviously bumped up its standards, and this looks absolutely terrific, and it's a complete testament to WE's revamp of all of the AEGs, their GBBs, and of course the GBBRs, as we see in the Scar here. The red dot we have up there is the Trigicon Tri-Power, which we've done a review of before. You can click in that annotation to take you that. I'll open up in a new window so it won't interrupt this one. So obviously the main feature of this gun being is its gas blowback, as you saw in the intro. It does pack a wallop. This is probably the strongest gas blowback rifle that I've ever tested. This is the open bolt version, which means when I pull this bolt back, you can't see the inner workings like you would have done on the older ones. Nice slam forward, and it feels absolutely great, and it sounds even better. Awesome gun. The magazine is 30 round capacity. It takes green gas, and they're quite expensive to get a hold of, which is the main drawback of gas blowbacks. That and the low capacity mags. But these are really high quality magazines. They don't leak, and they're very good. Other cool feature with the Scar, in case you didn't know, it does have an ambidextrous mag release, which is handy for lefties and of course righties. And you've got your fire selector here, which is semi, auto, and back to safe again. Again, on both sides, so nice and easy access for you lefty guys. You can also change the bolt from the left side to the right side using the real steel strip down method, which is really neat too. Right, we've got Riz on both sides of the gun, left and right, and of course we've got an under barrel Riz there too, which we've got our vertical foregrip on. Flip up sights, back and front. Come up there, excellent backup sights when they're built into your gun. Well, this one's built into the front post. This one here is detachable, so you can get your scopes on there and get a good eye relief. Knock them back down again, and we'll have a look at the front flash hider. Now, I always gauge machine work on, well, we work here in a machine shop. We've got over 10 machines running in here, and we know what we're talking about when we're looking at manufacturers of guns. One of the most important things to look at when you buy a gun is the threading on it. If you look at a China soft gun, threading is made of cheese or some sort of other dairy product that really shouldn't be on a gun, but here you can see it's actually turned steel, and it is absolutely solid. The threading on it is so fine, and of course we can put on something like this B&T suppressor here that we've already done a review of. Again, you can click down in that annotation to take you to that. We'll open up in a new window. The flash hiders, which are aftermarket, some of them you'll struggle to get on China soft guns, and they'll rip up the thread something awful. You can always tell with a good, well-made gun with the thread that it doesn't screech and it sits on there really nice and neat. So we'll go ahead and put this suppressor on there and just give it a bit more bling. Oh, of course, your gas tube there also releases the barrel, which is pretty neat. So there we have it. Beautiful looking gun. We've tested out some gas blowback rifle before, which was the RA-Tech version of the KJW KC02. Didn't go up so well, and neither did the KW MP9. So we'll be very, very interested to see how this does on the range. So we'll take that out there now, and we'll see how it compares against the gas rifles and the AEGs that we've tested before. Okay, we're out in our 30 metre range. Of course, we've got our big heavy Abwood vice here that's holding the gun as steady as possible. We want to eliminate any human element from the shooting test whatsoever, so we get a benchmark between all of our guns. We're using 0.3 gram BBs for this test because we're getting good lift on the hop unit. One thing I have noticed with this though, is just a gas inconsistency. Sometimes you get a real big drop in FPS with some of the shots, and some of the BBs just take a nosedive. One of the factors you need to bring into consideration when you go ahead and buy a gas blowback rifle. So, we're running green gas, 30 metre range. Let's see what we can do to the target from here. Right, we're zeroed in, so I'll go ahead and I'll fire a few shots down. You'll see that I'm leaving quite a big gap between shots. That's giving this gas some time to set up each round. Alright, we'll leave it at that and we'll see what I did on the target. Okay, we've seen roughly how it did on the semi-auto test. Now we're going to move on to full auto, and I can already predict it's not going to be good. On full auto you get a lot of gas cooldown, you get a lot of gas build up and lubricant from the gas building up inside the barrel as well. It's going to throw off the BB. So to prove that, I'm going to go ahead and do it, and if it doesn't, then it'll be some sort of miracle. Alright, we're using again 0.3 gram BBs. Best BB I can recommend for this gun for accuracy. Although we don't show you all of the shooting tests, we do show you the best one, which is always with the heavier BBs. So let's give it a go and see how it does. Alright, I'm going to fire 3 bursts, maybe, or 4 or 5 rounds down at the target. Okay, let's have a look at those targets we just shot. We'll start off with the semi-automatic as always. As you can see, the spread is pretty varied, but the first 3 shots were almost dead on. Then the gas cooldown and all these factors started taking effect, and we started to get some drop off and a couple of flyers up there. Now guys, a lot of you have been asking questions like, do we clean the barrel? Do we set the hop-up unit? Of course we do. We spend a lot of time here setting up the guns and trying to get the best kind of trajectory and range, picking out the best BB before we actually show you guys on the test. So we chose 0.3s because they're the best, and they work the best with the gun, of course. We'll move on to the full auto test now, and as I explained, either they all hit the same spot, which I highly doubt, or we only hit the target once on full auto. With gas guns, there's a lot of factors you need to take into account, especially in full auto. The gas cooldown is so dramatic, the BBs just drop straight away, and we even had one strike the table in front of us, which is absolutely no good. A lot of you guys, when we did the G36 test, complained about that. That is just the way the gun is and the way that it's designed. It takes a special, specific type of player to use a gas blowback rifle, and that is the trade-off. Realism over practicality. If you want to go for realism, gas blowback rifles, go for it. They're an excellent way to do that. If you want to be safe on semi-auto, just use that all the time. But when you go into full auto, that's when you run into all sorts of types of problems. You will be able to get RA-Tech type components to aid that, but it will never be as good as an AEG. Not yet anyway, not until someone. There's a challenge for you manufacturers out there. Bring us a full auto gas blowback rifle, something that we can use to compete against the AEG guys, and we'll use them. Saying that, excellent built gun, the build quality and the performance on semi-auto is pretty good for a gas blowback gun. In fact, out of all the gas blowbacks that we've tested before, this is certainly the best one that we've had. A lot of you guys out there, I know there's a guy out there called Dan Bedsford. He runs one. I've met him at Anzio a couple of times. You can check out one of Scout's videos by clicking on that bottom annotation there. You can see that G36 review as well by clicking on that middle one, and of course you can check out last week's by clicking the top annotation up there on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe to us, guys. We'll have plenty more gas blowback rifles, all sorts of unique stuff coming up soon. You can hit that subscribe button up here, back up here again. What are you doing, YouTube? You're confusing the hell out of us. Check us out on Facebook. And also, big thanks to Airsoft World for letting us borrow this gun. If you want to buy it, the links are in the description below. They do all sorts of accessories for it as well, including the RA Tech components that I did say. Maybe we can get Airsoft World to RA Tech up one of these and see what kind of difference it makes. If you like that idea, please hit the like button, put it in the comments, ask Airsoft World on their Facebook to do that for us, and we'll get it up here as soon as we can for review. Alright guys, we'll see you next time.